Welcome to the Podcast for Truth. If you do not already know what the Podcast for Truth is, podcast is a vehicle to cast, a vehicle to spread, a vehicle to spread what? The Podcast for Truth, a vehicle to spread truth. What is truth? Truth is authentic creativity being allowed to flow. We are going to have a conversation of value packed information just for you with no filter, no edits, just pure consciousness flowing through us. So now that you know what the podcast for truth is, let me introduce you to Philip Ferenc.
Yes, you got it right.
There we go. I tried my best. So I am gonna give him the floor to introduce himself. Who are you and why would they want to listen to you?
So, hey guys, everyone out there listening. My name is Ferenc. You nearly got it right. I'm a 28-year-old psychology student, currently teaching online English for young men, especially in their 20s, doing a bit of coaching on the sidelines. I'm an ex-law student, so I know all about suffering and pain, you can tell. And
Yeah.
I had my conversation with Santi a couple of days back, and I was mesmerized by the amount and the level of resonance we had like this on the
Truly
first time.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was truly beautiful. And I just wrote him after our conversation that maybe I wasn't able to get a great comprehension of what human connections over the internet can really take you. So this is how we got here, and I'm glad to be on his first podcast episode.
Well, second one actually, because I had the first one the other day with a guy that I know for a long time. You gotta know him. Well, now that we have gone to the introduction points and we have known who each of us is and what the podcast for truth is, let's just jump straight into the first topic that we were talking about right before we started the podcast. Truly, the beauty of creating something, creating your life, or simply being in a creative state is allowing yourself to create without attaching yourself to the result. Because, like Ferenc was saying here, it's truly not about watching for the result or trying to create the result. It's more about enjoying that piece that comes from actually moving and getting things out to flow from you. And the beauty of this is that when you allow this to happen, the creative process is truly mesmerizing. Because what happens is that chaos starts, you start moving things around, start creating things that you probably don't understand. And then with time and with repetition, something starts taking form. And then all of a sudden, you're creating a beautiful routine with beautiful systems. You have a business going, your clients are working for you. You got this, you got the other thing, and everything is beautifully coming together. That is entropy becoming synthesis. That is the beauty of allowing yourself to simply enjoy the creative process. So that's what we were talking about. Now, grabbing that as an anchor, I want to ask you, what do you take as creativity?
Creativity, in my comprehension, is when you let yourself be, regardless of your nurturing, your background, your friends and family, your social circle, your circumstances, and just let the ideas flow through this vessel that is your human body. And just maybe if you like one of those ideas, one of those notions, you just pick them,
Hmm.
you cling to them for a certain while, and then you just see what you can work out with that. Like no pressure at all. Because once you pull in pressure,
Hmm.
then there comes unnecessary suffering in the
But just
process.
let me ask you there, what do you take as pressure?
Pressure is when I get an idea and suddenly I am taken out of the process by myself,
Mm.
ironically, and I'm thinking about the outcome. I'm thinking about the potential reception. I'm thinking about, oh, this and that would probably love this stuff, that other one
Yeah,
wouldn't.
you literally get in your own way, right?
Yes, yes,
I get what you're
exactly,
saying.
exactly. So I just wanted to get back on that topic you mentioned earlier, the process and not the outcome.
Mm.
So I would like to bring in this notion that being in a process, a creative process even, I think the greatest thing you can get out of it is the inner peace and tranquility that you are on your own path. You are manifesting your
I couldn't
highest
agree
self,
more. Mm.
and the process itself is the reward.
Yep.
And once you cling to the results, the potential outcome that you picture, that just brings
You
unnecessary
close
suffering.
yourself off to new possibilities.
Yes, yes, indeed. So what kind of sensations do you have when you are in the process, in the zone? I guess you have some of those moments when you don't feel like you are really in the zone, like you are putting everything into the process and
Mm.
getting the best out of it. So how do you deal with those sensations?
You know, the beauty of the zone, the flow state, or flowing is that it's not a state. And most people think it is. Most people think it's something that you tap yourself into. Kind of like your monkey mind is going all around the place, and then suddenly you're in the flow state. And it's this beautiful state where you're flowing and everything is happening and blah, blah, blah. But truly, I do not believe this is how it happens. Instead, is that your entire life is a flow state. The only problem is that when you think that there is a coming out and coming in of the flow state, it's because you were unconscious and conscious of the fact that it was the flow state, perfect as it is. When you're unconscious that you're always in the flow state, you take yourself out of the flow state, just like you said. But the beauty is, even then, you're still in the flow state because what you're creating might be chaos for others, might be chaos for yourself later, and it might be even seen as chaos right now. But truly, is it chaos if you go forward and then just keep going and you move forward and look back and all that chaos isn't chaos anymore? It's just potential for organization, potential for creation. Everything that you've gone through becomes a potential for something. And then the key to take that potential and build it into something is all about your beliefs, your mindset, and how you decide to take that potential and build it into something. There's two ways to take this, and there's even a third one, but I think the first side of it is there's two. There's a positive and a negative. You first think that your terrible life is something that can be taught to people that are going through the same thing. That would be the positive side. But then there's some people that go through a horrible life and then they just love to victimize themselves and tell the world that I've been through this, through that, through this, through that, and I should definitely be saved. But the problem is that they're not using it to their advantage. Instead, they're actually getting in their own way and they want someone to pull them out. That's kind of like the positive and the negative. But finally, the truth of all of this is that you are always in the flow state.
Yeah, you see, that's the issue with those people, that I think suffering is essentially a positive in someone's life if it can be channeled into wisdom.
Mm,
So if you
hmm.
can channel it into wisdom, that is your own wisdom, that is the most personal knowledge you can acquire,
Truly.
which you cannot read anywhere.
Yes.
Reading is great for inspiration, but you have to cultivate your own wisdom, your own solutions.
Hmm. You see,
because
just recently I was sorry, just recently I was making a video about this, that the process of creation starts with inhalation, inspiration, going within. Because first you gotta tap into your own self to then go out there and improve upon the reflections that you're receiving from the out there. And this is because at the end of the day, the best wisdom comes from your suffering, just like you said it. I love to say that your greatest source of growth is always going to be your greatest source of suffering. What made you suffer the most is always going to make you grow the most.
yes, and to go within, I think you have to get out of your own way.
Truly.
So getting out of your own way starts with unlearning your harmful patterns.
Yep. That's the most
And
difficult.
once you've done that, you can start moving in because it's a long, long process, and it won't be achieved in a
You can
matter of
even
months.
say it's literally like you split yourself into two and you're watching this little kid make a mess of a chaos, and you're on the other side understanding that that chaos has to happen, so you're allowing it for it to happen, and you're then battling between both, understanding that both are necessary.
Yes. I think what it boils down to is not any results to achieve, but a new way of seeing the world,
Yep,
giving
exactly.
yourself a new tier that you didn't even know that existed. And
Yes,
then,
that's
like,
beautifully.
having such profound experiences in such banal situations, like even going for a walk,
Yes, mm-hmm.
the
Yeah,
way you experience your surroundings is so essential. And a lot of people
the
forget
present
this.
moment.
Yeah, the present moment, because there's nothing else than the present moment, actually.
Yes,
That's
and
all we
I
have.
want to anchor on that to say that the present experience is all that there is. And what you said was perfectly beautiful. I literally needed to listen to that because at the end of the day, it's not about where you're going, but what you're seeing the present experience as. Every single thing in your life is happening perfectly. Therefore, the only thing that shifts is the way that you look at it. To get
I
the
totally agree.
results, you only have to receive the right perspective. And to receive the right perspective, the only way is through. You cannot change what you're going through. You can only go through it, hoping to God, trusting in yourself, and understanding that this is the perfect experience that you need to reach wherever you want to go.
Yes, and I think there is a great paradox which cynics always cling to, that if there is anything other than the present moment, then the present moment should be enjoyed, right? So you should choose instant gratification because there's nothing else than the present moment. But
Yeah.
this couldn't be further from the truth, because
That is the beauty paradox.
the present moment, uh, in the present moment, you should choose to delay gratification
Mm,
so that your future present moments can be even more profound.
yep. I love to say that your destination is within because every experience is bringing you more into yourself.
I
At the
love
end of the
that.
day, it's a vortex. Whatever you're looking outside of you, it's only bringing you more into yourself. Whenever you see someone out there, they do not exist. It's
Hmm.
only the reflection of what you're seeing in them that is making you believe that it exists outside of you.
Hmm.
So you truly do need someone out there to pull you out, because the beauty is, if you look at it this way, you're this is the other. What you're looking at is pulling yourself out of yourself. What you're looking in other is only pulling something from you. So truly, this is what I've realized recently. Someone is coming to save you, but that someone is whatever you're seeing in whoever you want to save you in you. You're only seeing a version of them to unlock the possibility of becoming that version for yourself. So the
Mhm.
outside world is only a realm of possibilities. The beauty of it is it's literally like Amazon Express, and you're literally just buying personalities, buying mindsets, buying lifestyles. You choose. I like that. I like that influencer, you know? I like his lifestyle. Let me accept that that is possible in my life, and let me try to find a way to create the possibility for it. And then you just allow the process to happen. And sometimes what you wanted from the other is nothing but the reflection you needed to understand that your life is better than the person that you're looking at.
I love that. And I think the great challenge lies in you believing your ability to start the process and to guide yourself through it.
Yes, competency.
Competency.
Yes,
Yes.
trusting your
Yes.
own
And once
competency.
you have belief, everything else will fall into place.
Yep. Walking in faith, like most people like to say. It's not about walking in faith. It's about trusting in your future self more than you trust in your present self. You
Mhm.
are your ego most of the time, but your higher self, your future self, is your soul. And your soul is always pulling you into the experiences that you need to become more of your soul. So your ego can only, your limited self can only see four walls, literally four walls. It can only see the present 3D world. Your soul can see the four walls, and the whole room, and the whole house, and the whole city, and the whole everything. So it can literally look from above, from beyond, from above, from beyond, from below, from through every single different way. So it can actually access all the opportunities. And all you get to do is accept that it knows more than you. So if you surrender to that knowing, you surrender to that, and you realize that if you surrender, you're always going to know what to do in the next present experience. Everything is always working out for you. It's always being prepared for you. It's always being created for you. It literally is a vortex because whatever you see out there is pulling you more into yourself, which is pulling you more outside, which is pulling you more inside. And then it's a beautiful work of art in between the outside and the inside, which creates your whole life.
And that's how you don't get stuck. uh, when you give in these sensations and these inner powers of yours, then you can consolidate cognitive dissonances because they are there to guide you through your way, your journey. And I think getting back to faith, our society is so clinged on phenomena that can be proven without a doubt, and that's
Absolute
why we feel
facts.
so empty and
Yeah.
hollow inside. And we just fail to see that there are so many levels to the human experience that we get stuck on one of those lower tiers. And that's why so many of us choose instant gratification on a daily basis, because they cannot see any further than that.
Yep. It's literally, if you
We
could,
give in to this animalistic
yep.
behavior,
Mm-hmm. If
and
there's a way to
so
explain
we
it, it's literally like,
degrade ourselves.
yep, exactly. Yep, you said it.
And it's very easy to degrade ourselves, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very, very challenging to climb up the ladder again.
Yep. Yeah, but
That's the
it's
unlearning
literally
part.
just it's literally just covering your eyes and looking only at what is, if I cover my eyes from the camera, there is a distance between my eyes and my hands. You cannot see that, but I can. And I'm only looking at my hands. But if you realize that you can get your hands out of the way, there's a whole camera, a whole world, and a whole person on the other side. Because your limited self can only look at things limitedly. But when you open your eyes and you start observing instead of seeing things, you realize that you're both the creator of the other, the creator of yourself, and the creator of the experience.
And there is this beautiful metaphor, which I heard in a no alcohol challenge video, but I just love how profane this is. Like you just picture yourself in a prison cell. You are clinging to the cell doors and you are
Mm.
looking outside. And actually, the process of turning around is you awakening to your truth and wisdom. And once you have turned around fully, you see that the room is actually open, fully open the other side.
I like that metaphor. Yeah, it truly is the same way. I like to use a metaphor that I created, which is the canvas. And it talks about how your life is only you as a painter painting a picture of yourself. Picture that. Imagine
Mm.
yourself in a canvas painting a picture, and that picture being yourself. And there's three ways in which you can live your life. You can be the picture on the canvas, you can be the painter painting the picture, or you can be the canvas itself. When you're the picture, you're being painted upon. Something is creating you, but you're not aware of it. When you're the painter, you're trying to perfect it. You're trying to make the perfect eyelashes, the perfect nose. You're trying to do the best artwork that you can. When you're the canvas, you can only watch the whole experience happening. You're watching the picture, you're watching the painter, you're being created upon, you're everything in one single thing. And all you can do is allow, because you cannot move, you cannot do anything. All you can do is allow. The only difference is the canvas can fall at certain times, it can move, it can go up and down. That is life. It truly is a canvas, a blank slate, where every morning you wake up is a new opportunity to create a new picture of yourself.
I love that. I love that analogy. And I think it's deeply resonating with this quote that men are both the sculptor and the statue.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very paradoxic to understand, but once you comprehend this notion that you are actively shaping your life and that will get back to you at certain points that you cannot even comprehend right now,
Mm-hmm.
that is just so beautiful when you see it unfolding later on. And you can connect the dots backwards, but never forward.
That's why the power of hindsight. You can only look back, you can never look forward. That's why there's infinite possibilities. That's why the present experience is perfect, because the present experience is literally like Amazon. It's bringing you a 3 million different examples of what you can choose. But if you accept that your choice is always right, you're always going to choose the right thing. And it's a beautiful thing because you're watching the present experience, you're seeing it with your eyes, but you're also feeling it with your heart and you're understanding it with your mind. So not only do you see everything out there, but you're feeling what it's making you feel and you understand. And when that's if you go deeper, but if you go deeper, you're understanding why it's making you feel through what you're seeing. You understand the why, that's how you understand the how, and that's how you understand the what. And when you got all three, you can literally become the creator. That's what we're all about in the podcast of truth. You become the creator. You understand that you can literally just use the world as an Amazon Express where you pick and choose. Do I like the lifestyle of this person? Not so much. Do I like the lifestyle of this person? Not so much. But you know what? This person makes me feel this way, and I understand why it's making me feel this way. And you know what? I really do want that thing. Let me accept that that's possible for me. And then you surrender to the flow. And since you've accepted yourself as that version of yourself, you're creating that version of yourself.
And I think this is the great challenge for men, especially these days, that we have been taught that we should think logically and always evaluate by reason. And we learn to repress our emotions and our feelings and our intuition this way.
Mm-hmm.
So the part of our intelligence is completely hindered by this notion. and this leads to dysfunctional tendencies,
Yep.
which just leads to potential healing possibilities, because otherwise you cannot uh, get your own salvation out of this.
Yeah, if you think about it, too much masculinity is too overpowering. Too much femininity is too sacrificial. When you got the perfect balance between receiving and giving, giving and receiving, you're allowing the natural process of life to bring you what you need, allowing it to happen, and then creating what you want to create. It's the beauty of receiving the present experience and then giving the present experience your all by trying to create what you've received
And surrender
and surrender. Yeah,
and trust.
that's the beauty. Surrendering is usually thought of as feminine, but truly, at the highest levels, surrendering is truly masculine because you have to be masculine enough to understand that even in your most feminine aspects, you're always going to be able to penetrate with your intellect, with your logic, and with your wisdom.
Yes, I think it takes a lot of action and
Courage.
potency and strength and muscle work to just do the work. But then if you have this feeling that you have put your everything into it, then it's time to surrender. And a lot of men don't surrender at that point, and they just try to keep going and they get miserable.
Iman Gaji. That is the perfect example of Iman Gaji. I don't know if you know who Iman Gaji is.
I know, but I'm not really familiar with his work.
Well, you don't need to be. The perfect example of what you said is that I know that he is a hardworking man. I really value his work. I truly admire the character that he has. He has incredible character traits. But at times I truly feel that he creates to create. He creates because he can. He creates because he allows it, but he keeps going. And at times I feel there is no resting that truly comes from the soul. There's only resting that comes from the body, which is you give yourself periods of solitude, you give yourself periods of calmness, peace. But if in those periods you're not doing anything, for the most part, it's like you're just keep pushing. It's literally instead of being a moment of to then, it's more like yeah, like you're just stopping because you want to keep going. You're stopping because you want to keep going. You're stopping because you need to stop. And that is why I tell you Iman Gaji, because I feel that he's one of the few people that truly does not rest. He just stops. He
And you
pauses.
cannot enjoy when you rest, right? Because when you stop to rest, it's all about when can I continue to push.
Exactly. That is what I'm trying to say. It's not about stopping to continue, it's about pausing to rest. So
Yes.
instead of being,
It-
I'm gonna stop in between the marathon to go and then keep going, it's more of like, let me just start walking a little bit because I cannot keep going. Let me look at my surrounding. Let me analyze my body. Let me understand why is it that I cannot keep going, and then let me find the next best step and take the next route. That is critical thinking.
And I think this notion lays the groundwork for the toxic hustle culture we are living in, which is accompanied by the Andrew Tate phenomena
Yep.
and the red pill movement and uh,
Push through. You can do it. You
the
can do it.
MGTOW movement and this all this black pill stuff, which is just deeply, deeply disappointing and
Yep.
sorrowful.
Yep, because it's literally like trying to use a machine until the tires are broken.
So yeah, exactly. And I think one of the great challenges and one of the great possibilities to do online work and workshops and the courses is to show these young men a potential way who have been captivated by these very dark tendencies, that even if there are some truth, some
Mm.
nuggets of truth in those phenomena that they build upon those toxic turbulences and so on, that it's not the way, it's not the actual way.
Yep,
So I think there will be great business opportunities in the future
definitely.
regarding these tendencies. And I think it's also a very noble way to help people because they have been brainwashed into this low level of functioning. And I think someone has to take responsibility for these, especially someone who has seen these kind of contents and who has been influenced by them and who has cultivated his own truth about these and then decided to leave those behind.
Yep. And they say that a comment is a confession, right?
I know.
Maybe you're the man who's supposed to do that. Maybe you,
Sometimes I feel that
yeah, maybe you
I
are
have this.
supposed to penetrate the world with your wisdom. Hmm? That
Yeah,
it's true because
yeah.
at the end of the day, like we said before, you're only receiving a outside experience to truly fulfill and nurture the inner flame that you're carrying within. So whatever you're feeling it for a reason, and it's not that someone out there has to do it.
Yes.
You are supposed.
Surrender to your feelings, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. You got it. It's about truly surrendering to that inner flame and fire that is pushing you to go out there, but then surrendering to the water that is calming it down to keep going.
Yes, I think no, more people need to be conscious of the fact that intuition is the highest form of intelligence.
Yep.
And once you fully embody this teaching, then you will move with bravery and confidence, and
Yep.
you will be upright and feel like a man.
Yes, exactly.
I have a friend who said this this sentence.
You were
Can you
saying?
hear me? Yes, so I was saying that the other week, my friend told me that he was involved in so much misogynist content at this point that he forgot how to function in a proper relationship. So the reason he put himself uh, in front of this content was the very same reason that he failed to get out of this rut.
Yep. I've been there. I know how it feels. I used to blame women a lot for my mistakes. I used to be the typical guy that goes out, tries to flirt with a woman. The woman doesn't actually care. Probably literally just like a fly pushes you away. And then you're stuck there with the pain and the feeling of knowing she
For
just
days.
yeah, exactly. And she just rejected me. How is it possible that I am rejected? And then you hate her for rejecting you instead of flipping the switch and understanding that maybe she rejected you for a reason. And that's what took me a lot of time to understand that it's not about her rejecting me, it's about me rejecting myself before I even walked up to her. There was something in
Exactly.
my mind that was not clicking that caused her to reject me.
And most of the time, she doesn't even reject you. She rejects the actual situation. She doesn't feel right in that certain situation. So it's not, most of the times, it's not about you because she doesn't know you.
Exactly. Yes, that's the beauty of it. It's not about knowing you, because not even you know yourself. It's more about she is rejecting you as the reflection of what she doesn't like to experience. And women are very beautiful creatures because they feel so much that a subtle change in their feelings that they're not used to or that they do not appreciate or that they do not love, you're out of there, my friend. Like, she is not going to tolerate anything if she is feeling that your your aura, your masculinity, your anything is causing her to feel in a way that she doesn't like it. And sometimes most women that are not able to get out of that situation, even they get out in their minds, in their hearts, and in their bodies. Like, you're never going to get a woman wet if she doesn't feel like your aura is truly making her want to desire you. It's like salivating. When you're hungry, you naturally salivate. When a woman desires you, she naturally gets wet. So you're always supposed to accept yourself.
Yes, and I think one of the greatest cheat codes is when you go up to a woman, you should act like you have known her for ages. And the most natural stuff is just to go up and say hello, like what's up,
Yeah.
what you doing around
She
here?
is
And
just literally another human being. The only difference is the way she perceives reality is totally flipped. In your case, you perceive reality with your eyes as a man. As a woman, you perceive life with your body. And your body is a beautiful, functioning piece of mechanics. Because your heart is kind of like the eyes of your body. Your hands are kind of like your ears, and then your skin is kind of like your hair. As a man, you feel the most threatened when someone is close to your head, close to your hair, when they're touching your hair. Then you listen with your ears as a normal person and you listen. But women are different. Like they truly understand life through their heart. This is like their eyes. So whatever is coming through your aura, through your energies that is passing through their heart, they feel the most. Then they use their hands to truly grasp the experience. They grab your neck, they touch you a little bit. They love touch. And then finally, their skin is literally like your hair. Like you love that woman play with your hair as much as a woman loves that you play with her skin all around her body. So the perception of reality is totally flipped, but it's just another human being like you are. The only difference is you got to learn how to flip the way you're interacting.
exactly, exactly. And I think once I understood that men would rather hurt feelings to uphold logic, and women would rather uh, detach from logic just to uphold feelings, and
Mm-hmm.
the paradox and this polarity.
Yes, the
Like
polarity.
once I fully embodied this teaching, then I just stepped up my understanding of the whole dating scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a beautiful game of I am loving you through my knowledge and you are loving me through your company.
Yes, that's
You-
beautiful.
Yeah, because you literally just you're trying to always bring the best to your woman. You're creating situations, you're creating experiences, you're creating sensations, and all she's doing is surrendering to your creations. She is feeling your creations, feeling your sensations. She's only there to surrender to the experience. That is the feminine, that is woman, that is your ego.
Yes. And one of the other paradoxes is that when we talk about masculine and feminine energy, people think of masculine energy only constraining to men and feminine energy only constraining to women. So
Mm,
if you have too much feminine energy as a man, you are undervalued, you are ostracized, and so on.
yep.
And I think there should be more of a mindful, basic, elementary teaching about such stuff, especially in high schools or even in elementary schools. But this would be a very long conversation if we would go into such
Yeah, because
stuff.
I don't believe that you're ever gonna be taught to remain with your seed. Because at the end of the day, literally that is what makes you a man. The only difference between a woman and a man is that a man has a penis, a woman has a vagina. And the only difference from there is that one excretes something, the other receives the excretion. So you come, she receives your come. And that come is literally your seed of life. And the more you allow it to build within you, the more masculine you become, the more empowered you are, the easier it is to find the right receiver. The problem is, as a man, you're always trying to like signal, literally signaling it around, moving it around everywhere, dispersing it everywhere. And it's literally like business. If like I got the other day I watched an image about this. This is the perfect business. Like getting this is your attention and it's just focusing it on one thing. That's your one woman, that's your one receiver that's just waiting for the right moment to get the right woman. And then you got I want to do TikTok. I want to do Instagram. I want to work on a business. I want to do coaching. You got 300 different women and that's your attention. It's short and it's not as powerful and it's all over the place.
And this actually leads back to our first topic we just started off with.
Yes, it goes full circle. It always comes full circle. Yep. That's how
Wow.
you create the most enlightening experiences in your life. The more focus you can put on one thing, one single thing, no matter what it is, the better the creation will be. Because it's literally, I'm grabbing all my creativity, I'm putting it through my heart, and then I'm putting it out. But if you're,
Yes.
let me just tick, tick.
There's no breakthrough there.
Exactly.
And that's why you have to desexualize your brain and desexualize your feed and just unfollow all those Instagram models
Yeah.
because it will serve you no
Desexualize
good.
your mind. Freud talked about that a lot, that psychology. And he talked about it because even then, back then, when this was not even like you didn't have YouTube to understand, you didn't have Wikipedia to books and all of this, ebooks, you didn't have all of this. He understood that the problem between a rational man that is truly masculine and a rational man that is emasculated is that one focuses all his seed, all his sexual brain to creating his desired lifestyle. And the other is all about, let me attract the right woman. Let me have sex all day. Let me be happy. Let me feel good. That's why, even this is the beauty of it. This is a paradox. The men that attract the most low value women are always the more feminine man. Then the more masculine men, the higher the quality of woman they attract. Because every low value woman is always going to be, let me just spread open to whoever it is because I just want to feel good. And the man is, let me put it in every word because I just want to feel good. But the high value man and high value woman understand that I'm here for you and you're here for me because you are receiving my seed and I am penetrating with all of my creativity, with all of my seed, with everything that I got. And that is the beauty of synergy. You're putting into one, the other one is receiving, and it's literally just consuming it and then putting it back to you. And then there's a beautiful interplay. But when there's like, and even then, we're still in the realms of duality. When we come back to full circle, all of this creates the beautiful this, which then creates all of this, which then creates the beautiful this. There is so many different concepts about how entropy creates synthesis, which then creates syntropy, which is kind of like in the bit in between the two, and then entropy again, and there's full circle. The
What
whole
is syntropy?
syntropy is my way of saying synthesis, entropy, entropy, synthesis,
Oh,
the in between, the grayscale.
is it a newly coined term in
The newly
Oxford?
coined term. Yeah, because that's the beauty of it. Entropy is chaos, then synthesis is the organization of that chaos, and then the grayscale in between, syntropy.
Damn, damn. I love that.
And I
I love
loved this podcast. And I think we should wrap this up because it was amazing. It was beautiful. I want to tell you, you're probably one of the most intellectual, highly conscious, rational men I know. So I truly enjoyed this conversation. I loved having you on. I am more than grateful to have you on. Maybe later down the line, we can connect again. We can have we can update the episode. Maybe we're so much more conscious. We can expand and ripple into the collective. But for now, I'm really, really, really thankful. I love you.
Thank you very much for your kind words. I really appreciated the experience, and I think we can build on each other's wisdom in the future, and we shall as well.
We shall, man. We shall.
So I'm looking forward to it, man, and I love you too. And I'm sending nothing but the best.
Thank you, man. So one last thing. Now I'll give you the floor. What are your last words for the people watching?
The people watching. I think the people watching should consider trusting in their gut instincts more often and just sit on their bed in the evening and do some profound introjection and come to a conclusion of what is one major way you are fucking up your life, and then consider moving away from that narrative as far as you can.
Beautifully said. You're an amazing man. Now you understand why Fulop Ferenc is an incredible man. And I really appreciate you. This was an amazing podcast. So that'll be it. Now you can subscribe, comment for feedback, and just share your word with us. I'm grateful to have you on the podcast. Now.